Welcome to Passion for Books. My name is Kim. Today I'm bringing you my top 3 and bottom 3 books that I have read so far this year. So I'm going to start with the 3 that are on bottom, and what I mean by bottom, it's just the ones that I personally didn't like for various reasons. It does not mean that they're terrible books. That means it just were not for me. Okay? So let's get into those books, and as you can tell, Nix has joined us. So hopefully things are going to go well. All right, so the very first book is called Alter Ego by Craig Groeschel. And I really did enjoy the first half of the book. As you can tell, I did get pretty far into it. But it was, how to explain it? Like the first part, it was very inspiring and I understood where he was going. But as the book continued, it got to where I felt there was no way I could live up to everything that he says you should do. So that was troubling for me. I want to read books, and this is a Christian book. I want to be able to feel like I can actually achieve the things that they're recommending that you do. And if you went just slightly off, then it kind of null and voided everything. And I just don't believe in that. I believe that, you try your hardest, and if you make mistakes, then you go back and try to fix them and those types of things. And it's just kind of left a kind of a sour taste for me because of that. And it just may be this part of where I'm at in my life currently, and possibly if I pick it up later, I might have a different opinion of the book. But right now, that's kind of why this book fell in my bottom 3 so far this year. Just because I felt like I personally could not live up to the expectations of this particular book. This one is called Happiness for Humans by P.Z. Risen, and I personally could not engage with this book. I understood that with the AI system that it would be kind of a disconnect between human emotions. But when it got to the actual physical humans, they were very flat characters. They were one-dimensional. There was no really emotional depth to them as far as I got into the book. I think I got like 80-something pages into it. And it's like they jumped into the story and then they were gone. It was very, very choppy for me. If you've read the book and it gets better, let me know, and then I might try to push through. Otherwise, this particular book is going to be leaving my bookshelves. I will either be donating it either to somewhere like my library or possibly Goodwill, or maybe passing it on to somebody else in my life who might enjoy the book. But for me personally, I love the idea of it, that the AI system was going to be bringing these two people together. I just could not get past not being able to connect to the characters. I didn't care about them one way or another because there was no depth to them. Okay, so that is why this one also ended up on my bottom 3 of the books that I have currently read up until this point. This particular book, these two books are from a bookcase club, and then the Christian book was from a Christian service that I used to be subscribed to. So that's where those books came from. This book is also from a bookcase club. This was from their mystery thriller genre, and it's called Any Minute Now by Eric von Lustbader. And I really, really thought I was going to enjoy it because I did enjoy a lot of the books from their mystery thriller bookcases. But this particular one, the reason it ended up on my bottom 3 is because there was, you had your set characters. But the thing with this one, it is a war-type book. Each of the individual characters had at least 3 to 4 other identities, and that's like 30-something people almost that you're trying to keep track of. Whose alias is this, and that's actually this person. So it was very confusing, very time stressful trying to figure that out, and so I only got about, I'll actually tell you how far I got. I got through page about 148, 149, and I gave up because I just simply could not keep it mentally in my head who was who at each stage of the book. And yes, and I probably could have made a little Venn diagram or some type of chart of this person, and had all of that. But I don't read books to have to try to do that. That to me is more like textbooky type of note-taking. And that's just not me. I like to enjoy the books that I read. I like that escape from reality for a little while. And this one just did not jive with me and my personal taste in books. So again, I may pass this book on to a family member, or again, either to my local library or Goodwill or something like that. So it will get into other people's hands who might actually enjoy it more than I did. Now, so those are my bottom 3 books. So we're going to end on some positive notes. This was the not very first, this is like my second or third mystery thriller genre case that I got from Bookcase Club. And I absolutely 100% adored this book. I could not put this down. Once I picked it up, I could not put it down. I would be up 11, 12 o'clock at night during the school year, and that's unheard of for me because that's how much I enjoyed it. This was about an upcoming kind of publisher of books. He's on the hunt for different authors, and his actual mentor while he was in college is the villain of the story, and he took on this kind of God complex over the up and rising publisher, and he basically got in touch with him saying, hey, I'm writing this book, it's pretty much my life's work, I want you to look at it and tell me what you think, and hoping to get published. And wow, the things that go on in this book were phenomenally done. There are some cringeworthy moments, especially when you read the professor's book. There's excerpts from his book, a manuscript in here, and it's some pretty far out whacked type of stuff that he writes about. And the publisher does not want to actually tell him that it's terrible and it's kind of tasteless and any of those types of things. And it kind of spirals out of control because the professor, was his mentor when, again, he was a student to him. So it becomes this revenge, and the professor is such a conniving, able to manipulate people, from his girlfriend to other publishers in the company he works for, and it has a really surprising ending. You are nail-biting till the very, very end. So highly, highly, highly recommend The Mentor by Lee Matthew Goldberg, because I think I forgot to tell you who that was by. But yeah, Lee Matthew Goldberg, awesome book. Cannot recommend it highly enough. If you are into mystery thrillers that are on the kind of cutting edge of going a little maybe too far a little bit. But great read. Great, 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 great read. Love this book. Okay. Again, this one should not be a surprise either. I did a kind of dedicated review on this book. It's called The Secret Ingredient of Wishes. This is by Susan Bishop Criswell. I 100% recommend this book. It is a very light romance type book. It does deal with kind of the paranormal, with magic in the form of wishes, and then the other lady that does magic also in the book, she actually bakes pies and conceals people's desires and wishes and that type of thing, so people don't have their secrets revealed. So it is phenomenal. Rachel goes through a huge growth because she's always been running from her gift, which is granting wishes, because as a child she made a wish that she actually regretted 100% as soon as it pretty much came out of her mouth, but she could not take it back, and she decided then and there that she would no longer grant wishes because of the harmful effects that they could have on family members and anyone else connected to these people. So she runs away from that, and she grows from that as the book continues. Again, I don't want to go into too much depth because I did a dedicated review of this particular book, and I'll try to have that linked up above where I did that review if you want to check that out. So again, highly recommended. Again, when I unboxed it, again, it was from a bookcase club. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it because the cover did not draw me in. My eyes just wasn't as appealing as some covers that I do see on other books, but looks can be deceiving, and this one proved true on that. But again, highly recommend this book. And the very last and final book, again, this one should not be too much of a surprise. This is by Julie E. Zerneda, and it's called A Turn of Light. This was the very first fantasy / romance / paranormal book that I have read, again, I think I said since high school. Just not a genre I typically pick up as much, so I definitely say it's a high fantasy book because it creates a whole new world. It has magic and all of that in it, but it is well done. The only thing I would knock about this book is the chapters are incredibly long, but it's still worth the read to get through. I did not want to put it down, and some other books that have really long chapters, I can't wait to put down. But this was not one of them. So again, absolutely loved this coming of age tale. Jen is, again, desperately trying to leave her village. She's wanting more out of life than just, growing up, marrying, and settling down within their little village. And everything and everyone around her is trying to keep her there, though she does not know it. And it's all about why they keep her here, what's going to happen if she should leave, and all of that. So it is 100% worth the read, and I do want to get the sequel to this, though I don't remember it off the top of my head, because I did enjoy this book so much. Again, if you're into high fantasy or fantasy of any type, definitely consider picking this particular book up. Okay. So those are all of the books so far this year that I've read that have made it into my top 3 and my bottom 3 for different reasons. Again, the bottom 3, it's not so much that they're terrible writing outside of maybe Happiness for Humans, but otherwise they're just not books meant for me, and I just didn't jive with them for one reason or the other. But anyways, I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me some comments down below in the comments section. And until my next video, I hope you have a good one. Bye.